Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We're ready to smile and say happy new day. We are also thinking about Mother's Day. Mother's Day is coming very, very soon, and we think about it. We say join us to celebrate mothers because mothers are very important to us. Sweet mother to all of you. Even the ladies who don't have children, so long as you are female, I consider you a mother. You can be the mother to so many children. It doesn't mean that you must birth a child naturally before you are a mother. Any female, any specimen of womanhood, I consider that person a mother. So let's celebrate Mother's Day in advance. Today, we have a whole lot of news for you. But before we begin, we want to say special thank you to you, our viewers. You have subscribed to our last video. We could not really believe it. So many people were listening, watching, and subscribing. We had over 1.5 subscribers. I mean, the number was just 1,500 plus subscribers in one day. So this is really a good fit. And we think we know why. Our message is resonating with you, our people. We've been telling you the truth. We don't want to hide anything from you. We were talking about Captain Ibrahim Traore, the current president of Burkina Faso, le pays des hommes intègres, the country of upright people. You guys love him, and you showed your love for him, and we spoke about him at length in our last video. For the show of today, the title of our show is going to be Ibrahim Traore Train Leaves Colonial Station for Revolutionary Russia. The big news this week in Africa is the celebration of the Soviet victory over Nazi Germany. I mean, after World War II. So the Soviets defeated the Germans. You know, Germany at the time was represented by Adolf Hitler. The Russians were the first guys who got to the bunker of Adolf Hitler. There's a lot of speculation. Some people said Adolf Hitler disappeared, he committed suicide, but he has just been a myth. People talk about Adolf Hitler a lot, and they talk about what he represented, which is Nazis. The Nazi philosophy. The Nazi philosophy is as repugnant as the colonial philosophy is. Nazism, colonialism, imperialism, they are all bad because they are based on the dominion of people, the domination of people who don't really do anything bad to you, but you want to dominate, squander, and squash them, overpower them. So when we say we don't like Nazi philosophy, we also do not like colonial philosophy. So for the day of today, Captain Ibrahim Traore, a man of the people, he's going to a mission to Russia. Don't just look at the victory parade taking place. Also look at why is he going there. When Trump invited Ibrahim Traore to come to America, he declined. But Vladimir Putin invited him to come to Russia for the Victory Day parade. He accepted the invitation, he honored it, and went to Russia. And he was received in Russia with pomp and pageantry. Even though we had one incident, we don't know whether it's true, we've not verified it. A Russian soldier humiliated Captain Ibrahim Traore, and Vladimir Putin did not take this kindly. He reprimanded the soldier, and the soldier lost his job. The soldier's name here is Peter Johnson. Why does he have an American name? Is he a CIA spy or what? We don't know, but that's the story. So Ibrahim Traore is big on the news, big time. So when you go to social media, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, the news about Ibrahim Traore is everywhere. And people keep asking, why is the whole world going crazy about Ibrahim Traore? Well, for the first time, people are saying that he represents something that Africa has been aspiring for. sovereignty, freedom, self-reliance, anti-colonialism, nationalism. They believe in your own country. That's what Ibrahim Traore represents. So Ibrahim Traore has emerged now as the new savior for a youth that is disillusioned by corrupt politicians such as Bola Tinubu, Paul Biya. So these young people are disappointed in all these old politicians. They are looking for something new. And they found a savior in Ibrahim Traore. So Ibrahim Traore now is the man of the people. That's basically the way he casts himself. He is the new Thomas Sankara. That's the vision of the people. They perceive him to be the new Sankara. Sankara's dream did not die with him. You can kill the human being, but you cannot kill an ideal whose time has come. The colonialists thought they could kill Sankara and they would forget about his ambition to make Africa free. Little did they know that a few years later, the children that were born after Sankara will emerge and start fighting colonialism, because that's exactly what is happening. The new generation of Ibrahim Traore is fighting for African sovereignty. People may say the Russian propaganda machine is utilizing Ibrahim Traore, but things will not work. The crowd will not be worshipping Ibrahim Traore if the people did not see in him the semblance of a new savior, Osagyefo. Because African people have had enough. How long are they going to kill our prophets and we just stand by and look? Bob Marley used to say. So today, the African people are saying, we can no longer stand by and watch you, the Western world, watch you, America, watch you, EU, watch you, NATO, kill our prophets, kill our real leaders. We're not going to stand and watch anymore. So the Africans now want change, and which is why I'm even holding a book that I'm supporting a friend publish. It comes with solutions. What Ibrahim Traore is doing, all those ideas are in this book. Why is Africa not developing? What did we need to do to make Africa become a superpower? This is what the book is all about. This book has been written by one of our brothers, Larry Ojong. I'm holding it so that I will let you know once it becomes available to the public. We've printed a few copies so that we can go through it, ask for opinions from the masses. But this book is going to be a very important book, which we're going to be sharing. It will be available on Amazon. So I'm holding it so that you start looking at the title, Larry Ojong, okay? The nation state. That's a fundamental problem Africa faces today, the nation state. The nation state is a colonial concoction. It is not real. It is not based on the realities of African society. It is a European creation. The colonialists, France, Britain, they created the nation state in Africa. They wanted a very weak structure. They put a puppet president with a lot of power. Then they make it look as if he was voted by the people, when in actual fact, he was voted in a sham election controlled by puppeteers such as France, Britain, Germany. So the people don't really have a say. So most of these type of leaders, we have so many of them in Africa today. When you look at Congo Brazzaville, Denis Sassou Nguesso, who is he? Those are those puppet guys. Egypt, Al-Sisi, who is he? He's a puppet guy. The people did not vote him. In fact, Al-Sisi overthrew a legitimately elected government because he wanted to take power. Is he a Democrat? No, he's not a Democrat. In Cameroon, you also have another puppet, Paul Biya. He has been there since 1982 as president. He was prime minister by 1975. He says himself, I am the best student of François Mitterrand, the former French president. So I'm a French puppet, and I'm proud to be a French puppet. So the young people in Cameroon, when they look at Ibrahim Traore, they see a hero. They see a savior, Osagyefo. The people long for the days when Kwame Nkrumah was there, who became their savior. So Ibrahim Traore now is the new savior of Africa. That's how the youth see it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm reporting the news. This is what the youth of Africa are saying. They perceive Ibrahim Traore to be the new Osagyefo, the new liberator. Africa wants to be free. Africans are tired. They ask themselves this question: why is it that we have a continent with a lot of resources, yet we are poor? It's because the so-called puppet leaders connive with the Western colonial guys to steal all the resources. Look at what is happening in Nigeria. Ibrahim Traore was even saying this a few days ago. He was surprised to find out that Nigeria makes a lot more money from oil than Qatar. But Qatar is richer than Nigeria. Why? Because Nigeria has corruption. You would think that somebody like Bola Tinubu will come and bring change. No. Sheyi Tinubu, take a message to Papa. Papa is an old guy who will never bring change. Today, Papa is in Anambra. I saw pictures of Bola Tinubu greeting Bianca Ojukwu, praising Soludo, the governor. But fundamentally, these people don't represent change. Change is what the African people believe in. They want change to change the country for the better. They want an end to bribery and corruption. But Bola Tinubu is not representing change. You see that the whole mafia is still there. Insecurity is there. He's not worried about insecurity. He's just worried about putting money in his pocket. He's worrying about greatness. So the young people are tired. If Nigeria were a good country, they would have voted for somebody like Omoyele Sowore, a young person. It doesn't mean that he's perfect, but at least he will come with an agenda to do what is good for the young people. That's what the young people are saying. They want a younger person with the energy, a new mindset. They don't want somebody who is beholden to the colonial empire, where the Europeans control him, where the Americans control him, where NATO controls him. They want somebody who is free, not somebody controlled by ECOWAS, which is a tool of the West. So that's why you see that Ibrahim Traore is making waves in Russia. In Russia, for this Victory Day celebration, Ibrahim Traore is treated like an African king. And I know the old guys in most of those palaces in Africa are shaking in their boots. They know that their feet shall slide in due time because the people are going to rise against their tormentors. You've been tormenting these people for a long time. They have been watching you and you think that they are weak. But they're going to make the move. It's going to be a surprising move, the way it has been happening in a lot of places in Africa, such as Niger, such as Mali. And you may ask, so Russia coordinated things very, very well. A few days before Ibrahim Traore was to travel to Russia for this big event, Russia knew that based on mistakes in the past, the Western guys would be planning to overthrow Ibrahim Traore during his absence. What did Russia do? Russia arranged to send a lot of commandos to safeguard and secure the country because he was preparing for Ibrahim Traore's trip to Moscow for the Victory Day parade. In addition, North Korea, another country the West dismisses as a rogue state or a rogue nation, they too sent a lot of commandos to go and prop up the regime of Ibrahim Traore. So now everybody knows that Ibrahim Traore has a big brother. Because even in my language, we have a saying. When you see a little bird dancing on a tree, know that the master drummer of that little bird is hiding in the forest nearby. When the coup d'etat that toppled Henri Paul Damiba in September 2022 happened, most people were stunned. They just saw Ibrahim Traore like a little guy, like a little bird, dancing on a tree. Little did they know that the master drummer of Ibrahim Traore was Vladimir Putin of Russia. Now, all these facts have come to light. The people are saying it. So this Ijakan proverb holds true very, very well. Ibrahim Traore has a big friend, Vladimir Putin, who will not tolerate. And why is Putin doing this? We're not saying that Putin is doing this just because they want to free Africa. Russia as a nation has its own national interests. In the fight for global superiority, Russia has been relegated because after the collapse of the Soviet Union, Russia has not really been functioning well. So Vladimir Putin is still trying to create the substance or the image of a country that is a superpower. But we know that the real superpower in this alliance is China. China is a real superpower, which is why the United States is not worried much about Vladimir Putin. The United States is focusing attention on China because they know that China is really the big player. China is the guy who wants to unseat the United States. Donald Trump knows this, and every move calculated in the United States is based on trying to undo China. But how is this going to work? It's tough, from what I can see. It's very, very tough. The China of the 1950s is not the China of today. That's what American officials are getting to understand now. China is a new nation, big and powerful. The economy is growing faster than the US economy. And the US doesn't know what to do. They talk about tariffs. Who is blinking? The US is blinking. Already, China decided that they will leave crazy Trump alone and just go and do something else. But what is happening now? The Trump administration is begging China now for a meeting. So they are meeting in Switzerland. So who blinked first? America blinked first. That's exactly what is happening. So we can tell you that the time for America is slowly declining. Why? Because of the same thing that America is doing. Hubris, as we say in literature. When you have a tragic hero, what causes his tragedy, especially Elizabethan or Shakespearean tragedy? It is a flaw in the character of a great person, somebody who is in high estate, a very important personality like a president. His weaknesses, his downfall comes because of an inner flaw. They call it hamartia in his character. And in the case of the US, it's pride and arrogance, pride and prejudice. That's what is causing the downfall of America. Foreigners, immigrants, used to be the strength of America. But for the first time, America is turning her back on immigrants. Even Ronald Reagan said, the dream of a new beginning in America, immigrants, that's what powers the engine of America's production. So if you start maltreating immigrants and you send them away the way Donald Trump is doing already, that's not good. It's going to be hurting America a whole lot. Okay? So you can see now that Nigeria, even Rwanda is not doing a good job. Rwanda now is behaving the same way as a mercenary kind of nation. I look at Paul Kagame like Mephistopheles in Dr. Faustus, a very devilish character. After the deal he signed to receive immigrants in his country, failed. He signed this deal with Britain. We've been talking to you about it. It failed. Now, Paul Kagame is trying to make another deal with the Trump administration. So instead of deporting people to their country of origin, they'll be deporting them to Rwanda. And Paul Kagame will be collecting money and fees for this project. Come on, how callous can we be? But that's how human beings are. Paul Kagame is trying to make money off the suffering of poor immigrants. And what is happening? Look at South Africa, which is our final destination. South Africa is standing its guns, okay? The same America that is deporting immigrants, sending them to the sea to die, to the forest to die, the Trump administration is willing now to receive white Afrikaners from South Africa. Why? Because they are white. If you are black, you are not important. You are not important. You can come to America. So you can see now that make America great again is a philosophy of racism. If you are white, come in. If you are black, get out. That's basically what the message is. So how is this going to end? It's not going to end very, very well because things are going to give. Okay? Things are going to give. That's what we say. It's not going to end very, very well. South Africa is watching and criticizing the actions of the Trump administration. Already, we hear that the Trump administration has already made arrangements for over 50 of those Afrikaners to leave South Africa and migrate to the United States. These are white farmers. They are rich. We told you in the past the problem with the new land reform bill in South Africa. The new land reform bill in South Africa is not based on racism. It is a way to bring about social parity. In the ancient days, we told you, these white people came to South Africa and took over the land of the people. If you look at what is happening in South Africa, all the wealth is held by white people. The black people who are a majority are still poor, even 20 plus years after apartheid. So, you may think that the black people have the right to vote, but apartheid continues because there's still the separatedness. Separatedness is not just based on where you live, it's based on color. The fact that you are black, you don't have wealth. The wealth is in the hands of white people. Now, the government of Cyril Ramaphosa wants to make changes to improve on this situation so that there should be social cohesion in the society. When people are not happy, when black people feel that the white people have all the wealth, they have nothing, why are the white people having all the fun? When black people ask those questions, they start fighting the white people. That's why sometimes you hear stories of black people attacking white farmers. It's because you feel like, I'm dispossessed, the guy came to my house, took everything I have, and now is running away. So we're going to tell you now that to wrap this show, the three things, what are we trying to do? Like in this book, my guy, Larry Ojong, he's saying that we can change our society. Leadership is our biggest political problem. If we have better leaders like Julius Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, Samora Machel, these are the type of leaders who care about their people. If we have this type of leaders, then politically we'll have a good society. We'll be able to have a parliament to gain our sovereignty and we'll make decisions ourselves. These are the type of leaders that can create about new change in the economy. And when we start talking about economy, fundamentally, like Larry Ojong is proposing the Afro, a new currency for Africans, a continental currency used by all Africans, so that this currency becomes now just like the dollar. In future shows, we're going to go into details, talk about the power of money and how money links everything to an economy. Then, of course, the biggest issue that most of the youth are talking about is unity. Africa is weak. Africa is not a superpower because we are divided. We are not united. So if we want to change things, we need to bring leaders who unite us and not leaders who divide us and exploit us. You look at like what Tinubu is doing in Nigeria. Nigeria is slowly becoming a one-party state. So instead of bringing Nigerians together, Bola Tinubu is dividing them. And that's what most of the dictators in the other African countries are doing. They are dividing the people because they want to govern them. They are using the same playbook of the colonial master. Divide and rule, divide and rule. So we think, you guys are thinking, and we like that. You shared the show last time like crazy. So continue sharing this show also. Let the people know that Ibrahim Traore is the hero, okay? He's in Russia. He's there for his people. He's facing all the threats. Even if he dies today, I think he has done something that Napoleon left undone. And we say, thank you very much, Ibrahim Traore. Viva, viva, viva. Thank you.